Hello, Uni Wizards. I'm back by unpopular demand with episode 3 of GOUT'S BOUTS. Trigger warning, this episode contains my typical ramblings and crudeness. If you're joining us for the first time, well, I don't know what to tell you to expect. I just make this up as I go. Here's today's map, and maybe I'm just tired, but I don't really have any deep insights about it. It sort of reminds me of Bake's stereotypical ranked map. Two sides, symmetrical. We both have some bases. Not too many. Not too few. We're far enough apart, but not that far. Some terrain, but not that much. You get the idea. If I were Goldilocks, I'd be so excited well, let's just say it's a good thing Epstein's in jail. What's that? My producer is telling me he's dead. Anywho, here's today's opponent. Oopoo War. Or, what happens to me when I eat too many pistachios? In today's war, I'll be trying to squeeze out the sapiens. As first player, Krells. Krallians are the most tenuous race for me. In other words, I find saps or titans much more forgiving. I think because marauders and speeders are so dang powerful. But if you've never danced the dance with Krallians, then you're just sipping punch in the corner. One advantage Kralls have over saps is underlings have better mobility than marines. So for example, a ling could hit a unit on the base from this row, whereas a marine would need to be a row closer more or less. In other words, if you're going through the woods, the lings are going to reach Grandma's house faster. So that will be my general strategy. To Grandmother's house we go. 75 credits per base, so I start with 150, and my only build option is a ling, and I make one. He wastes no time building a marauder. The marauder can reach either city, so I will park my underling on the mountain and range of either city and build 2 more underlings. If he sits on a city, he will take 2 hits from my underlings. And I'm okay if he attacks my underling on the mountain and retreats, because he will be losing tempo while he heals his marauder. And I bank 150 credits so I can build up to a pincer, as I am anticipating more marauders. There it is. Now he could pick off my underling on the mountain, so I'll move it. And I still want to have at least 2 units that could hit a marauder on either city. But the trade-off is the shape of my army is not looking great. I'm too spread out. What an oopoo head. He advances his marauders, and they are both now in range of all my bases. I retreat my units away from the marauders, but still able to hit the cities if necessary, and I feel like my hand has been forced, and I pull the trigger on the pincer. If your hand is ever forced to pull the trigger on a pincer, I would recommend a towel or wet wipe, because it's really damn hard to use a touch screen with sticky fingers. He responds with a bopper, and I'm not sure what he's doing with this marine out here, but now his army shape is looking strange. And with my pincer like the bouncer at the front door, I reshape my army and move my units into better positions. It's possible he could kill my pincer, but I'm fairly confident I could kill more in return after he weakens a bunch of his units. He doubles down on the bopper and moves his marauders back while consolidating his units. Time to head to Grandma's house. I'm going to attack. Yes, I am well aware that my pincer will die if I do, but the whole reason I built it was to get the position on the map that I want and keep the tempo in my favor. Plus, I'm hoping he has to damage his marauders to get the kill. And 2 boppers aren't really that effective against a bunch of underlings. So as long as I can keep the kill count even, I'm okay to sack the pincer. In KVS, you can't be afraid to exchange units. If you let saps build up forces, they will slowly pick off your units with marauders. If you noticed, I tried to keep my underlings as healthy as possible and keep my fragile swarmers behind them. Let's see how he responds. Well, so much for him damaging his marauder to kill my pincer. But I'm only 250 credits down, so I'll keep dancing the dance. Exchanging units. Like a suburban Midwest swingers party. 2 Zimas in. Don't get me started on the 90s. It swings 250 credits in my favor now. And again I keep my swarmers behind a row of underlings. He wears down all my protection, so, like that other party in the 90s, I'm going to pull out. It's called the rhythm method. Not the best if you're avoiding underlings, but great for Uniwar. I'm also introducing Sally to the party, because plague is another advantage crawls have over saps. He responds with a fuse, and I don't know, now he's got 3 glass units he has to protect. I would have gone marauder, but maybe he's trying to bank some credits. I'll make an infector to heal my swarmer to full health, put another plaguing unit on the board, and I love using it to counter marines, especially on low credit maps. There's the marauder, but again he's banking credits, which I knew at the time because I was tracking his credits. But if he thinks I'm going to sit around and let things build up, or let him build an uncontested helicopter, he's got another thing coming. The dance continues. I'll take a 7-2 exchange on the fuse with my swarmer. And here comes the plague. This may look smoothly choreographed in replay, but every turn I am trying all attack orders to optimize kills and remaining health on my units. And I'm checking what he can kill in return. I'm in and out of the wormhole so much I sprained a knuckle. He gets to my infector. A lot of times I'll see players lose an infector and then pivot to a different strategy. But if it's the right piece to have on the board, I say just build another one. I chose this base so I can convert a marine on these hexes. Defense by deterrence. But he does a good job only leaving a 1 health marine in range of my infector, and he's up 300 in kills with a lot of fresh sausage on the block. So I'm going to halfway pull out. Again, only recommended for Uniwar. And even though I don't have my underling wall for protection, my infector should keep his marines at bay. At Marina? At Marine Land? He's certainly going free willy. He consolidates his units and builds an engineer to start clearing the plague. I rebuild my underling wall. And he spends a turn getting rid of the plague and builds another marauder. Vroom. I'm going to continue the dance, pushing forward so I can safely advance my infector a row closer. Yes, I check that it can't be killed. I'm up 200 credits, but he responds by killing 600 credits, putting him up 400. Someone check my math. And he builds as many units as he can because I am all up in his shit with units in range to cap any base. And now I want to advance my infector. With its superior movement, my Ling from the base, and Swarmer clear his 10 Marine. I get to his bopper, leveling up a Ling to 2 veterancy. And I take 2 units down to 1 hit point, which normally is not ideal, but since I am at his doorstep, it's the best play, as it renders those units useless. Because of where I left my units, the only hex where he can reach my infector with a melee hit is here, meaning he would have to use the bopper from one of these hexes to kill it. But that would mean his bopper will die, and he can't uncover this base, which I would then cap on my turn. If the infector lives, then he can't build a Marine on either of these bases, or leave a Marine on these hexes. And he has to be able to defend my Sally capping this base. So even though the kill count has remained roughly even, back and forth, throughout the match, I have outpositioned my opponent, and by my estimate it will be checkmate in 1 to 2 turns. And it looks like he concurs, and surrenders.
That's a wrap.
What? You've been sitting here the whole time.
Oh yeah, I'm the it to your ego. Wherever I go, we go. Cogito, Argo Sum. Drop This Beat by MF Doom.
Oh, hey guys! Were you doing something here? Sorry, I just wanted to ask, what is the best counter for underlings?
Hold my drink while I do this.
I am but a coaster.
I knew a guy who used to bopper. Got banned from chat for that offer. Loose cannon or loose lace to all you clod hoppers. You fuck with me, I keep playing B in my coffers. Or I snip your shit like my dog Mr. Choppers. Less skipping, bigger, more hip hoppers. This next one is a real showstopper. I introduce Miami Moose proper.
Sounds like she wants me to work a land with my seed. Call me a sharecropper, popper, a Kool-Aid jammer with 3 Cosby Centrum. Assy MP attack, no retreating bopper. Back to the O for help, cause a wave already took them. Yeah, maybe gaslighting 300 Spartans to come on 100 Tendermen. 1,000 was my MySpace ranking on Tom's scale of 1 to 10. Those who couldn't cos-can were moved to the opposite side. The reciprocal, a sign of my jibber-jab left factor in fuzzy paragraph blessing. Somewhere in there was a math lesson, final boss action. When I take your king from you, that's subtraction. Split your mantis in 2 halves, making you a fraction. Marauder fast or slow, it's an ice-cold flow. Polar bear castration of homeless Eskimo. Full circle back to proper. Mental patient, digging wells of science fictional manifestation of just another average Hasimo. Imagination.
Hey guys, remember me? Was that an answer to my question? If so, I don't really get it. And why are you talking in that sing-song way? And what's that weird instrumental music? I've just never heard anything like it. Anyway, let me know.
Hold my tampon while I take this one.
Huh? Gross.
A lot of members to remember, some thick but mostly slender. You want this chick, love me tender. DM me that pic, return to sender. You think you're slick, you're barely bigger than my clique. Can't even tell your gender, and not in a cool way. Even when I zoom in, it's pixelated. I'm fully rendered, I'm the girl you wish you dated. But your hex positions are overrated. You're still in school, I graduated. My course was coarse, but no remorse. Like half-grown pubes, just irritated. Your moves aren't smooth, like Elvis just gyrated. I've birthed bigger things than you have dilated. Like a pins in my closet out and serrated. I built a fish, but you filleted with your mouth. I should've stayed home and masturbated it. A cake in the kitchen, the bitch is out, but the witch is in. I cast my hex and you surrender. Game ender.
Okay, that was a sick flow.
I demonstrated my talents?
Oh my God. Did you make me hold this thing the whole time just so you could make that pun? You and Moose are so weird.
Guilty as charged.
Wait! I just don't understand.
You think I give a shit? You're the one holding the poopa scoop.
What?
I've been in this game since Tanuki Suits and Shoopadoo.
Is that an insult? Or just onomatopoeia? Ow!
My bad. reflexes.
Listen up, Mook. Gouts.
So you know war phenom, born with 3 arms, but one is EMP until the ass comes, then he becomes a plush. Pencil with 3 prongs, and each palm unleashes a beast swarm, which thing can last 2 weeks long.
TM.
Basement entourage delve 1,000 yards. They guard the boards. We conjure balls that jack are harder than twin Sims, riding bareback on falling stars. Yum. I just lured the rising sun in a Thundercat with Mallow Mars in the Higgins garage like Mum Ra. You'll find it to be heartless like embalmed mega corpses, leaking rawness from an antiquated cartridge, discharging harshness from a battery of rockets, catharsis.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'd have to point you towards the undying words of one Tech 9. I caught crazy, and I plan on keeping that shit forever and ever and ever and ever. Inside of me, I do believe it sits.
Forever.
Guys, I just wanted an answer to my question.